And I got asked everything from, have me and Michael had sexual intercourse together? Before you go into them questions, just quickly, got a present for you.
Right.
I'm going to bring it in.
Listen, if I play 70% of my golfing ability that my body allows me to do, I smash deckers 9 out of 10 times.
Rick Shiels' merch drop.
Yeah.
So bad. So bad. There's one massive element of your life, which when we tell people, even to this day, they first of all think we're lying.
We good?
I should have blew my nose before.
Velvety as well.
Hi, everyone. Me and Westy were talking last night about this, and we both agreed that, first of all, welcome to the Golf Supply Podcast, episode number 1.
001. Maybe even 0001.
Hopefully 0001. But me and Westy were talking about this, and this has been in the pipeline for a while, and we both agreed that we're actually more excited for this pod than any of the videos we've put out on YouTube for a while.
But does that mean that we're getting old and lazier, or is it because we just think we've got a lot to offer, we're good to talk in, we've got good guests, we've got good conversation?
Partly for me, it's because I don't think we do the best job as a content creation platform at actually speaking with some of our followers on a more personal basis. That's partly the reason why I'm really looking forward to doing this, because the format of how we're going to do these podcasts is we're going to get out 2 a month in the first instance. Once a fortnight is going to be me and you shooting the shit, just talking about what's coming up on the channel, what we're doing,
and maybe catching up with the followers.
A lot of Instagram polls, a lot of interaction with you guys, hopefully. And then the second podcast of the month, every single month, is going to be with a guest.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we feel like we can have good guests, interesting guests, maybe not like the biggest names.
Interesting stories.
Yes.
In the golf space.
Yes.
Sometimes interesting golf stories not in the golf space with the people we might be able to get on.
Agreed, yeah.
But diverse set of guests. Yes. Now, first of all, we want to put a massive thank you before we go into this podcast and deep dive into what we want to talk about and kind of introduce ourselves to Golfing Days, who are the main sponsor for not only our YouTube channel, really, but for this podcast as well.
Shout out Mark and the team.
Shout out Mark, Olivia, and Ollie. If you don't know who Golfing Days are, they're linked in our bio. They'll be linked into the Spotify description of this podcast and the YouTube description. They are a golf travel provider based in the UK, hold a ton of overseas events. I've literally just come back from Dubai. Thanks for taking us on that one, everyone. I'd
also say as well, one thing about them that is different that I noticed, I didn't actually really know before, you might know, but I didn't really know sort of the pro-am ability and the pro-ams that they host. I thought it was just more you go to a travel company, you go abroad and, you know, here it is, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I like the pro-ams that they do.
Pro-ams are class.
Yes.
The pro-am aspect is class because if you and the boys are someone who book a lot of overseas trips, Spain, Portugal, Turkey, wherever you might be going, you get the exact same experience if you're just booking with the boys, but you have a competitive element to you have a purpose to your round of golf.
Which is far, don't get me wrong, you can go out there a day before, or you could stay a day longer and have your in-house betting. But yeah, I like the competitive edge and the camaraderie together is very good. Yeah.
And it doesn't actually end up costing you any more than what it would if you was booking to go on a golf trip abroad anyway. So anyway, that is the sponsors of the podcast. This is the Golf Supply Podcast. This is, like Michael said, episode 00001.
Ooh.
Let's get right into it, Westy. I would like to... Well, it's actually... I'm not going to take the credit for that, actually. I'll let you take the credit for that. Which was... introduce ourselves, introduce the Golf Supply for people who maybe don't know us, and just tell people, because the most commonly asked question, we put a poll out on Instagram yesterday about what do you want to know about us, what questions do you want to be answered on the podcast, and 85% of the questions is, do you and Westy work still? Is this full-time? And what do you do with your time?
I think we'll start off by doing our origin story. Mm-hmm. So like a little build-up of me and then you. And then I might turn interviewer, because this was Ash's baby from day one, and obviously those that have followed from day one will know that I've been a recent addition, however not a recent addition to Ash's life and maybe behind the camera, but then I'll just want to flip it and go interviewer and interview you about
you start then, mate. Who is, for those who know you as initially maybe CMM, recently, like for some strange reason, one of the most best dressed golfers on YouTube. We've had that a lot recently. Yeah. But who is? What else do you get? There's a few lurch in there, but I think that's from your northern friends.
Yeah. I don't get that much hate about my golf game, which is good because obviously I am still under the title of hacker, and at times
you're not. You're not hacker.
But
it's not title hacker.
I somehow save it. But yeah, shout out the boys and girls.
But so who is Michael West?
How far back do we go?
I mean, we don't want like childhood memories, but like from like
there is none golf related. To be fair, we had a brief.
Not really, yeah.
No.
Like professional career. Yeah. Obviously, there's one massive element of your life, huge element of your life, which when we tell people, even to this day, they first of all think we're lying,
JK,
or you're lying.
Believe me,
JK thought he was lying, but people do think you're lying. Yeah. So maybe start there because that's like
Yeah. So I met Ash initially through football, so whatever age that was. So we've known each other probably 20 plus years now because we are the ripe old age of 30. Shock, I know. It's the HD cameras. But so I've known Ash and his family a while and get along very well with his family. Basically, where did I come from? So we'll start from 19, yeah. So at 19, I joined the army, didn't really know what to do, just knocked on the door of a recruitment office and just went with that, and that just turned into sort of 7.5 years within the army. Everything had stopped. The next question will be, did you deploy? Did you get away? No, I got abroad.
Not to touch that as much, buddy.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I just feel like
it's nice to touch, but I just don't know if it's going to be like.
All right.
But go on, yeah. You went in the recruitment office.
Yeah. No, I was past that.
Oh.
But no, I had gone overseas a lot, but nothing deployed wise, and then done 7.5 years. I was getting to the age where I just thought it's either commit and do the 22 years and then deal with the next step, or jump out now before I get too old and now I'm a little bit stuck. Do I just go and work Tesco security? So at 26 or 27, I left and then I joined the railway, and now I'm currently an electrician on the railway. So yes, I still work. I still work a lot of hours, mainly nights.
Disgusting hours.
Yeah, which at some point I know I'm going to be at a crossroads upcoming soon, but yeah, we'll touch on that. But yeah, so I'm still an electrician on the railway now. I've been doing that for about 3 years, and I try and golf as much as possible on the side.
Can we?
You're laughing.
Yeah, I know because there's. Okay. I don't know if you're like. So
yes.
You know what I'm going to say?
No idea.
Right, so,
but I like it when you do that cute thing.
Can we go into just for one specific story? Can we go into what you done in the army and what you was trying to do in the army? Because that then leads on to one of the funniest fucking stories. Well, the weirdest but funniest stories of, well, the most bizarre. This is an exaggeration for the podcast. It led to the most bizarre encounter I've had in my life, off the back of you putting me down as a reference in the army.
Okay. Yeah, so I started.
Is that allowed to be spoken about?
Yeah. So I started as communications. I didn't really know what to do, but they sold me and said, "Oh, you play with satellites and mobile telecoms." And I thought, that's the way the world's going.
Gamer.
Give me some of that. So I went into communications and then done that for a few years, and then worked in the gym for a bit as a physical training instructor. And then I was like, right, yeah, so it's either get out or I will attempt to specialise. Like, I'm fit enough, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, so let's do that. So I tried to specialise, got through like an initial sort of course, which then required me to have a certain level of clearance, to which...
Security clearance.
Yeah, to which I needed sort of my oldest and dearest friend who I'd known the longest and still in contact with, Enter Mullen. And that is a very in-depth conversation that goes on for hours and hours and hours, and they really, really dig deep, and they don't really miss any stone.
And the reason they do that is purely on the basis, and it sounds like maybe overkill to an extent, but you told me that the reason they do that is because if you were in a compromised position,
yes,
is there
anything you would hold back?
Yeah.
That's
actually true. That's why they do it.
Yeah, I think that's like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I've got some boys that might actually watch this that went on one step further, but like it is pretty much that if you get captured and whatnot, they then don't have anything, or if anyone finds anything or grabs your information on the internet, can they now go, he watches this? And I'm like, no, don't tell my parents and friends.
Or your partner,
I'll give you the details of what you're after. So I think that's the main reason, yes.
So what with Westy putting me as a reference, and honestly, I wasn't expecting this. Westy, I don't even think you...
I don't think I told you.
No, you didn't. You definitely didn't tell me at all. So Westy puts his, Ash, do you mind if I put you down as a reference for something, right? Or so I'm applying for some job in the army, that sort of stuff. So I'm like, yeah, cool, mate, whatever, no worries. I thought you just put me down as a reference because I was the only person that you knew that like worked at an employer that would be able to put it on headed paper for you. Like that's literally why I thought you was asking me to do a reference. Anyway, so I'm just in the office at this time working recruitment. Obviously, I'll jump into that later on what I do, blah blah blah. But I'm just in the office getting on with myself. I think the guy had told me when he was going to be coming in.
Yes.
And I was going to have to do some sit down reference with this fella. And so anyway, long story short, right? And this is the God's honest truth. This bloke comes into my office. We go into a private room. We sit down. And I got asked everything from have me and Michael had sexual intercourse together? i.e. like are we gay lovers? The answer, obviously, no. If Michael's cheated on his partners, if there's anything that I should know about Michael, what type of adult movies Westy works. Am I gay? Have I got anything in there? And this interview honestly went on for 45 minutes of this quite stern-looked face. Like, he weren't like a...
Oh, they're not joking.
He was a serious guy.
He wants the answers.
Yeah, serious guy. Yeah. And like, I felt... Even though I was giving a reference, I felt he was interrogating me for 45 minutes. It was the most bizarre thing. Honestly, I just wanted to get that out on the pod because it was something that I'd never experienced before. I don't usually get uncomfortable with stuff, but he was a serious dude.
But he didn't get the
calls.
I did get the clearance and then I got injured. So yeah.
Yeah. So
So
your army career stopped there, and then you work on the railway.
Yes. So that's probably up to date now. So over to you.
Yeah, so I've got a bit less of a interesting story. I didn't serve the Queen.
You done let's just go pre-recruitment because you've done a lot.
Yeah,
you were a jumpy boy.
Yeah, pre-recruitment. So I've worked in recruitment for 10 years now, specifically education recruitment, i.e. I place teachers into schools in the local geographies to my hometown. We're Essex based, so I deal with like Suffolk, Essex, Hertfordshire. So if you just happen to be a golfer who's watching this and you're also a teacher looking for a job, I could definitely help. But yeah, education recruitment specifically for the best part of a decade now. Prior to that, I definitely didn't know what I wanted to do.
No.
And just with that, done everything. So left school. I'm a July baby, end of July. So I actually left school when I was 15. Started college. My old man's a Sparks. Went to college for a year. Done electrical installation, I think it was called. Hated it. Worked with my old man on site for a while, or jobs and that. Didn't like it. Me and him just rowed over and over again. Then from there, went from roofer, scaffolder, painter and decorator.
All Saints.
Worked in retail. The shop in Freeport, Baron John, the suit shop. I've done a stint in there. All Saints at the airport. God knows what else before finding recruitment, and then that's where it sort of dulls out a little bit. And for the last 10 years of my life now, I've been doing recruitment. But if I didn't fall into that and I didn't do the job that I do and I hadn't done it for so long, then the Golf Supply probably wouldn't exist.
Or maybe it would have been born, but it wouldn't be at this point now.
No.
Or sustained. Or it would just be, we would just be like weekend and it just would never grow.
Yeah.
We'd be filming on a
I
iPhone.
definitely sympathise for people who, and this is why, like, when, like, we don't say it to be dicks. When people reach out to us and go, I'm thinking of starting a YouTube channel, or I'm thinking of starting this, and like 9 times out of 10, jokingly, but at the same time, we're being half fucking serious. We're like, don't bother.
Yeah.
We're not saying that as in a, like, derogatory or like, you can't do it fashion. No. It's, unless you're either Westy who can weirdly operate because, like, railway people operate on like 2 hours sleep, and the shift patterns sometimes fall into place where, don't get me wrong, you have to bend over backwards most of the time to get to most of the filming shoots that we do, but there's still a level of freedom there in your job. And my job can be done almost remotely half of the time now. Yeah,
I just think it's, if you don't, that's why Ash gets a lot of questions, even from my friends that watch, does he still work? He's just built himself into a position where he can work mobile, and there would just definitely be no GS, well, without your ability to work how you do. We wouldn't be here. So.
Yeah, I can do it remotely.
So shout out you, actually.
Yeah, shout out absolutely. The employer to an extent, shout out me, but the reason, to answer that question, yes, we both still work full-time. Although I'm not in the office maybe every single day, I still probably do a good 50, 60 hour week on my job from my mobile, whatever it is doing. Westy does even more than that. So to answer that question before we go into the answer questions later on in this, yes, we both work full time. That is our backdrop story, our like employment backstory before the Golf Supply. But then the Golf Supply come along.
Yeah, so this is where I'll go interviewer mode.
Yeah, so
So obviously, because I sort of remember when it started, because I believe I was actually away in a hotel on a course, and something had happened in my life, and we weren't really speaking too much. But I remember the birth of it, and you lot had all started on a. Let's just say,
I feel like me and you were talking at the time when we started the channel.
I don't know if we were. When did COD Call of Duty?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Where did the idea come from?
The idea had been spoken about for probably a year beforehand, on and off, not really that seriously, between me and Button. We'd said, would it be a good idea, or like, we think it would be a good idea, or would it be cool? Pretty much, basically, would it be cool to try and make some golf videos?
Yeah.
And not really basing it on, because you got to think at that point, I don't think Good was massive 3 years ago. They were big, but I don't think I was watching Good at that point.
No.
Wasn't really consuming hardly, maybe like a little bit of Rick Shiels and Peter Finch, because I was playing golf at the time, but wasn't really consuming loads of golf content.
No.
And we were just like, do you know what? It would be cool to make some golf videos. Had a few conversations back and forth. Nothing really come of it. Charlie actually started working with me at my employer. For those who don't know who Charlie and Button are, they're people that were on the channel when we first started the channel, Button and Charlie. But Charlie started working with me at my employer, which then freed up a bit of time for him as well. So like, kind of, because I pretty much said to him, you can just go and play golf. But we was like, do you know what? Like, sod it. Let's just like go out at the weekend. We was members over at Five Lakes Golf Club.
Yep.
Let's get the iPhone. Absolutely no idea about these cameras, these mics, we thought that we could make good golf videos on an iPhone 10 or whatever it was at the time with headphones plugged in.
Don't say it. Some people still think they can.
Some people still make content that way, but yeah, we thought we'd do that. Looking back at the videos, as you always do, the first 45 videos posted onto the channel were absolutely atrocious. But it was just the birth. It was like the birth of it was from loose conversations, and then probably like the problem I have personally is once I start something, I get addicted to it.
Yeah, you see, I think I always struggle with when I was younger, like a sport or something. Or George is very bad at that. George is very bad.
He'll
pick a sport, and before you know it, he's full blown. But
yeah.
You're more where you will differ from me and George, as I do sometimes, and will. And George has very clearly lost interest in multiple things. But yeah, you are very good at that. It's a very good trait of yours.
Yeah, and it's not even necessarily because it was golf. And it's just like once I start something, I have like this like almost like ADHD or like I have to try and perfect what I'm doing.
I think for you, it's more if you can see the bigger picture, which you now have clear as day in your head. It's like, well, it would just be impossible to put the brakes on.
Yeah. Like, because you're constantly in all aspects of whatever you're doing in life. Like, you're always trying to improve on that. Whether it like you're trying to improve at a sport you're doing, you're trying to improve at a job you're doing, you're trying to improve at playing a PlayStation game, whatever it is that is your hobby or your passion. Everyone's always trying to improve and stuff. And as soon as I started, I had no editing background. I didn't even own a MacBook at the time. I had no like editing background. I had no thingy. But then the more videos I made and like the more YouTube tutorials I watched, and then we got like a Canon camera, like a 500-600 quid Canon camera in the lens, and then that was such a better picture than the iPhone that we was using. Then we got like a microphone, then we upgraded the microphone, and then you start seeing this like evolution of like better videos being made. And
then I think obviously when it gets to the point where brands start saying, even little things like we'll send you probably a glove or whatever the first ones were. Like, fuck.
I can remember the first thing that, and I was absolutely gassed. I'm not knocking it. I can't remember the guy's name. We played him in a subscriber scramble. Do you remember when that absolute Goliath bloke come over who was tanned, the cricketer?
Yeah, at Braintree.
Yeah. And the lad that was playing with him, he owns a golf brand called Ep.1 Club.
Okay.
And it's just like T-shirts, hats, and this sort of stuff, yeah? And I remember, I think I might have reached out to him and was like, hi, mate, like, if you got any bits you want to send out? And he, like, sent us out a T-shirt. He sent me a T-shirt out. He sent Button a T-shirt out. And, like, I was gassed. Yeah. And it's like, that's not knocking the bloke. Like, thank you for sending that out. Like, I think I still got it at home. But, like, you're like, a whole new world.
I think it's because you watch it happen.
Yeah.
Everybody, reality TV is that big thing that's taken over our lives. And you watch it happen. You watch people get free things. And then, obviously, if you get something free, where everything's so expensive in life and you work so hard, then, wow, what now... Yeah.
And then I think, and then just the progression, like you said, like just trying to make better videos, getting better at editing, buying better equipment, investing into the channel. And then, like you said, you start to do them things, and then you start to get these rewards from it. So like, we then started working with Clubhouse for a little bit to start off, which was a huge retailer. Yeah. And then you build a relationship with Titleist, who we're going over to see tomorrow. And then you get to go on the tour truck and meet the guys at Mizuno. And then like all of these avenues start to open up. And then it just sort of like drives you more and more and more to then like keep trying to just improve. And now it is honestly like 90% of my life.
I would say the golf supply to me at the minute is a bit like technology in general. So people always say like, oh, we had the brick phone, then we had the iPhone, and now it's like, hang on a minute, 10 years ago we were still playing Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. Since even the small time I've been on board, the year or whatnot, we learned to do, like, for example, the best example I can think of is we learnt them tracers. And that was after filming with Jazz at... Well, you learnt them initially at Fox Hill, which wasn't even that long ago.
No.
I bet that's...
Under a year.
Yeah, like well under a year, I think. And then now all of a sudden it's gone from you sending a video, I've cracked it, have a look at this, a zoomed in black line.
Yeah.
And now gone from there to now you're editing, which is very, very good, to now this second camera and JK and a drone, but now an upgraded drone. And it's going quick.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's like, it's snowballing very fast, like technology.
Yeah.
The baby that is, or the machine that is the GS.
And that is because, the machine that is the GS, and that is because, like, we've said this to loads of people that we speak to, like, I refuse to not do absolutely everything that can be done to make the videos as good as they possibly can be. Like, and then obviously we can only be ourselves, and we can be the camera presence, and we can try and play the best golf that we can. But I mean, when it comes to production levels, that's why we've employed Jake now. So people that don't know, we've now brought on a videographer on the channel pretty much full time. He's going to be filming all of our videos, helping with a lot of our graphics, doing all that sort of stuff. That's obviously a massive investment. But I can't allow myself to keep using a shot tracer app when I know that there's Adobe After Effects and you can do it on this, and then you can zoom in on the clip, and even that has been a constant evolution for me and you back and forth, like headache for months trying to get them to how we're happy with them.
Yeah, I would say on that, like you learned it after Fox Hills, and then it went from like I had a laptop that was too slow, so I didn't have a laptop when I bought £750 gaming laptop. Thought that'd be good. Realised that was too slow. Now we're both $8,000 deep on MacBooks. I've never had a laptop. I've never acquired a laptop in my life. I don't work an office job. Now we're literally like top tier MacBook.
Top tier.
Off our own back pocket. It doesn't come out of a GS bank account.
No,
it doesn't come out of thin air.
I do apologise.
That all comes from us, so like we have to work hard in our own lives to then put into this. And then the tracer app goes from, like, Ash was very, very ill one week, sort of fortunately I would say, actually, and he just sat and grinded out learning these tracers. And I remember I think I went round to drop something to your dad, a trolley, and I was speaking to Coral, Ash's mum, and I was like, I think he's going to make himself ill. I was like, I think he's going to make himself ill. But yeah, and then it grew on and on and on and on. The tracers are now where they're at. And then recently we had another step up.
Upgrade, change into it. And we're still not...
No.
We're still not there.
Oh, we're
So if there's any content creators, i.e. the people that do it, if you are Rick Shiels, Peter Finch, someone from Good, just send us a DM about your tracers, because there's still a little bit.
I'd say we're 90%.
We're 95%.
Yeah.
We're 95%, but there's something that you boys do that we're not doing, and I want to know what it is that you do. Put it that way.
And that's just the tracers. That's just lines on shots.
Yeah.
That's how big the machine has got to.
Yeah.
All from something you started in lockdown and walking around. Because I walked around Five Lakes with you lot with a... You'll see me in the camera. You'll see me in the shots 2 years ago, and I could find them now. We're at Potter's Five Lakes, and I'm walking around with this iPhone with a mini tripod. I'm taking a knee in that, and I'm just...
Yeah, but you were committed. You were still trying to get angles on an iPhone.
Yeah,
that is the one thing. You were committed, even with an iPhone. But yeah, it was... Yeah, so there's natural progression there. Like Westy said, the channel is definitely, from a technological standpoint, and from an effort standpoint and an investment standpoint, there's more going into it now than there ever has been. And that is genuinely because, let's call a spade, we think the content that we can make and we can put out is some of the best in the UK, if not around there. I think we've got Already got fantastic audience, you lot at home. We've got great people who engage in our videos. There's a really golf-focused community that follow us, which I like. It's not people who are just casuals. Most of our people that follow us are diehard golfers, and I love that because we're diehard golfers. We love the sport, but I just think that obviously from a bias standpoint, I think the content that we can put out, and when we get there, we will get there. But at the minute, we are investing, honestly, heavily into the channel and into this podcast as well. Like, this takes a lot of investment and stuff as well. But again, like we said at the start of it, we're very excited for this podcast, the guests that we can get on and where we can take this and the conversations that we can have. So we don't mind doing the investment.
No, I would say, and on that note, and we're talking about how quick the machine goes, this is our very first podcast.
It is.
And this is our very, very first ad break.
It is.
Cut.
Boys, if you've ever dreamt of going to the Masters, now is your chance. Golfing Days have their new Marriott Bonvoy Masters pairs competition that is starting this year, 2024. 4 qualifying venues with only 20 pair spaces available at each venue. 3 pairs from each venue will qualify for a 1 night, 1 round, all expenses paid for grand finale at the beautiful Forest of Arden on the 15th of September. Format is simple. Better ball, pairs, you and your bro. Handicap allowance of 85%. Men will be playing off of the competition tees. Women will be playing off of the red tees. With one team finally being crowned champions and winning 3 nights, twin or double room at the Columbia Marriott, 1 golf day, Sunday US Masters badge, a golf day and Masters transfer, welcome pack, concierge service, and on-the-ground assistance from the golfing team. There's nothing else like it. Head over to Golfing Days website, get yourself involved. Back to the podcast, boyos.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to the Golf Supply Podcast, episode 0001. Thank you for that cut there, Westy. I was waiting, like the timer was kicking down, and I was like, I don't know.
I was waiting for like a
For me to shut up.
natural pause,
Yeah.
and I thought, how can I try and roll this in?
Before you go into them questions, just quickly,
Yes.
got a present for you.
Right.
I'm going to bring it in.
Ash is... Anybody that knows Ash, any of his family that are watching, does he do this to you? Because he does this thing to me, and I do like it. I enjoy it. And he'll say this thing. He'll go, "Oh, your present come through the post." And I go, "Oh, what is it?" He'll go, and then he'll just carry on talking. He'll go, "Yeah," and he'll never tell me. So I just stop asking now.
Right, so what we've got here, Michael. Show it to the camera first. Don't look too close. Turn it around. What we've got here is a Jones. First of all, shout out Jones Co. It's black, and I've got camo colour for you, buddy, because of your army roots. But they also kindly
Oh, that is pure.
put the GS on.
What colour did you go for?
I got a grey, like a charcoal grey one.
Mate, that's delicious.
I know you're not massive on your pencil bags, but
No,
shout
I'm
out
massive on
Jones
this.
Europe. I know you said you wanted a black bag for the winter, and you like. I'm not the biggest on camo, but you always say, "I like that little camo number and stuff." And then, they sent them out free of charge. I did pay for the embroidery setup and the postage, but they sent out the bags completely free of charge. We're going to do some promotion on them on Instagram when we're out in. If you want to take it to Portugal with you,
Absolutely.
But they logoed it up on the side. So
the camo I do love.
Yeah.
I just love subtle camo.
you do,
Yeah, I do. That is that's delicious.
That was a nice one. Yeah,
Yeah, thank you very much, Jones and Mullin.
You're more than welcome.
I'm gonna get that door.
Yeah, you shut the door. Yeah, so shout out Jones for that, and the guy who does all of the marketing and stuff for Jones. If you are interested in getting one of them, you can go on to Jones Golf Bag Company Europe, I think it's called. I'll link it down there. They do loads of different types of pencil bags, and they actually do stand bags as well, West. But they were on the clunken side.
I feel like one strap golf is on its way in, and I do really like one strap bags. I'll be honest, I do.
Okay.
Like winter is obviously sometimes a bit of a noise. You put it down and blah blah blah, and then but we're in Portugal and we're going to be buggied up. And to be fair, from March forward, we should just be buggied a lot.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So you're happy with the black camo? Okay, I'm glad.
You knew how would you?
I thought you would be, yeah. But I just thought I'm really I'm an impulsive person quickly, so I really wanted to hold to give you that on the podcast and not send you a picture, because usually I will tease you and be like, I've got you a present, and I'm not going to tell you, but I'll usually cave and send you a picture, but we didn't.
Very nice of him, that, isn't it?
Yeah. So
thank
you go.
I was going to say I wrote a few questions.
Okay.
And I'm actually interested by these questions. To be honest, I'm actually interested in your answer. So, if there was no channel, so this is your birth baby, and we're all here for the ride. So if there was,
we're all one big team now.
If there was no channel, there was no GS, there was no GS pod. How would your golf goals differ? So your golf goals really are probably GS orientated, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
Your own game is just, you want to be good, you want to play in levels, you want to play the boys, you want to play bollard and do them over, But how would your golf goals differ if there was no channel?
I would be getting, well, you can look at history pre-channel. I was getting a ton of lessons with Scott, loads when I first started to get back into my golf.
Yeah.
Ton of lessons with Scott, and I would, like, I won't say I would have turned pro because I probably wouldn't have, but I would have been grinding. Like, I'd be a much better golfer than what I am now.
I would agree on that. So you still think you would, because I've got another question here. So, or would you just play socially and try and take money from the boys, or would you really like be practicing golf? Would be your
golf would still be my main sport for sure, and I'd still be playing with the boys every weekend and trying to take all your money. But I would definitely. It goes back to if I'm not focusing on editing and making YouTube videos and doing all this sort of stuff, I have to focus on something else. And I would have probably picked up some other thing that I would hyper focus on. Yep. But I definitely would have been is the right way of putting it, a lot more time into actually getting better at golf, so which neither of us, although you had a lesson today.
Yes.
Shout out Scott at UK Golf Academy. Westy's big pools are hopefully no more for our Portugal trip coming up.
Hopefully not.
I would definitely have been in the lab practicing a lot more.
Yeah.
That's probably what.
Yeah, that was. I just wondered if you would be grinding. I'd probably agree with you. Yeah, you probably would be. I think that. Yeah, we'd all probably have a console still, and
I'd still do a bit of gaming. Yeah,
because
I'd still be a bit like if we had the time now, I'd still be partial for a bit of COD.
I would.
Yeah,
Ron would love to hear that.
Yeah,
shout out AEH.
I'd be well, and like I'd even throw a bit of Fortnite in there. I would, because I mean, builds have been taken out, and I was a bit of a build demon when we used to play. But yeah, I would definitely still be on the PS5 with the boys playing the PlayStation of most evenings if we didn't have to edit the videos.
We were heavily addicted
and do all that sort
even
of stuff.
Up to a few years ago.
For sure, I'd still do that.
Okay, so what is the best part of your game? I'll answer after you.
After me?
Yes, after.
Wedges.
Oh, I would absolutely agree. Yeah. Your different variation and your ability to leave it in one putt range is very, very good. Yeah,
I'd go as far as saying as if my wedges, and don't get me wrong, I'm not the best wedge player ever, but I think I'm a pretty solid wedge player. Yep. If it wasn't that good, with the amount that I actually, because of the channel, the amount that I actually practice at the moment, because I just feel like I don't practice my wedges hardly ever. I'm just naturally have got a feel for that around the greens. If I didn't have that part of my game, I know maybe a different part would maybe make up for it, but I wouldn't be playing off a scratch plus one. It saves me a lot of strokes. When I'm not playing well, it saves me a lot of strokes.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Okay, so worst part.
Worst part of my game?
Yeah.
It changes all the time. People, you're going to think, you're going to be screaming at your screens. I know you are saying putting, but I wouldn't say my putting. I wouldn't say my putting's the worst part of my game.
Your putting isn't, listen, if 10 is good, so let's just use Aaron, our very good golfer friend, as 10 is good and 1 is crap.
Yeah.
I don't think you're less than 5.
No, I'd say 5, 6.
But like I wouldn't say you're getting up to the nether regions. You just.
I'd say at the moment the worst part of my game is my iron approach play into the greens.
Oh, interesting actually. Yeah. Do you know what I think about it? Because I would always say your irons and your striking of irons, and they would be. He's a +1 golfer.
Striking's good.
Your irons are good, but yeah, maybe from 160 to 200, you don't leave it closer. And I'm not talking like pipe in the green.
No.
I'm
Hitting
talking
the green.
Do you? Yeah. Okay, yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, good, nice.
Everything else is a little bit streaky. I'll have days where I drive it really well. Yeah. I'll have days where I putt half decent. I have days. Usually my iron striking is okay, but recently, weak part of my game, what I've noticed, what I'm losing, like use West Malley in that video will probably be out by now. I know it's 30 miles an hour winds and stuff, but if you watch that video back, or watch most videos back, like you said, from 160 to 200 yards, I'd say 50% of the time I might miss maybe not from 150, but 50, I might miss the green.
Yeah, okay, I would agree.
Which stroke gains, if you look at it from that, I'd be definitely down on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last question.
Go on.
10 being obviously top tier all the way, so the best you can give yourself, and 1 being the worst. What is your on-course fashion sense?
Mine? If I had unlimited budget, it would be 10.
Yeah.
If I honestly just I'd spend a lot on golf clothes anyway. Yeah. Like in my personal opinion, but I'd say if I asked you, you'd say yours would be 10 if it was because you dressed.
I would say if we both had unlimited, I feel like we could dress really, really nice.
Yeah, your style would be a little bit different to mine.
Yeah, but I like that. I think you dress very, very well on the course. It suits you.
Yeah, and I think because the thing is with the things that I don't like with you, for people who have met Westy, or even if you, so I don't know if you can see it through the channel or not. He's a big lad, not as in like fat or anything like that, but you're 6'5",
yeah.
and what are you weighing at the minute?
Like 100.
No, don't do I don't know if people do kilos. What is it in stone?
What is that, like 17.5 stone? I fluctuate 17 to 18 stone.
So that's like a big second row rugby player.
Yeah.
Big. So your like clothing options, you couldn't wear like some of the stuff and look, but the weight for how big you are and for how you dress, like with your tailored shorts and stuff like that. But that's what I mean. You'd give yourself a 10. If I went to you, here's $3,000 every month to spend on golf clothes, you'd ball out in gear. What would you spend most of your money on?
Well, you know,
Nike.
Yeah.
Really?
That is my.
You don't wear a lot of Nike golf clothes.
No, I did actually just order 2 polos today for Portugal, but I just think Nike. The only thing they do good golf. What do I really wear? I like RLX.
Yeah, I would say
got another 2 of them today as well.
Shout out UKGA or put it on the tab.
Portugal.
I would say if you ever meet Westy outside of the golf course, you could almost bet your house on it that he'll be wearing Nike from head to toe today.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
And maybe if you go in gym, you have your Under Armour stuff on.
Yeah.
But on the golf course, I wouldn't say you're heavy Nike.
No, I'd agree.
No.
I'm more like...
If someone says to me, like, explain Westy on the golf course, like my vivid memories of you on the golf course, and I'm going to like summer, because winter everyone's wearing waterproof and a hoodie and whatever it is, like crap stuff. Mine would be like FootJoy Premieres, tailored smart FootJoy shorts, and some form of like nice RLX polo or something like that.
I'm very simple. I'm simpler than you on the course.
Yeah.
I don't really try and... I just go off colours. So does my shorts go with my bottoms and blah, blah, blah. And you're colour coordinated, but then we just have this different... You're more edgy.
Yeah.
And I'm less edgy.
Yeah. Which leads me on to... I won't get into it too much because I genuinely can't be asked to talk about it. But it does piss me off a touch how bothered people are about what other people wear. It baffles me.
I didn't know where you was going to go with that.
Like it can. Well, I wasn't going to say about Peter Finch in his podcast.
No, yeah, he could. I didn't know. Yeah, we're not touching
but
that.
like, it really confuses me. Like, if I see someone on the golf course that is wearing something that I personally wouldn't be seen dead in, it doesn't offend me that they're wearing that.
No, I
or
don't.
Like outrage me.
I don't, because they maybe don't give a shit.
Yeah. Or that might be their style. They might think that.
Yeah.
And then following on from that, we were supposed to film a podcast with Josh White today. Shout out for cancelling that, Joshy boy. But I was going to ask him one of the questions, and I will when we get round to it.
Yeah.
People who say in today's day and age, that they are traditionalists. Well, Josh wears traditional golf clothes. If you go back to Ben Hogan and all that sort of stuff, he's the traditional golfer dress. Traditional golf now, you would class as like a really like out there FootJoy polo with some trousers and like a pair of shoes. That ain't traditional golf clothing.
No.
That's only from what, the 2000s?
2010s.
Yeah.
Maybe.
What was Tiger wearing back in? He was wearing like pleated flared trousers.
Yes.
With
baggy jumper
and a thing. Yeah. So like if you actually go traditional, it would be like
Farmer boy.
Yeah. Going on to clothing and fashion on the golf course and that, Michael, you've just recently come back from Portugal.
I did.
Before we go back out there.
Yeah. I thought I received a DM on Instagram like your uncle from Nigeria.
Yeah, you did actually. Yeah.
So
you've got your inheritance to collect at 6.4 million.
It was a female, Bethany. Shout out. She used to work with Adidas. She now works with Travis Matthews, and she basically said, "Long story short, do you want to come and do some stuff for our new drop in Portugal?" I thought, okay, yeah, cool, sounds good. So I went out there, flew out there, and done some stuff with another young lad, Reece Stewart, who we will try and get on the channel because he's a good lad. We like people that are just normal and fun,
genuine guys,
and are winding him up, saying Ash will dish him up because he won't be able to take the hand of the cameras. He won't be able to take the pressure.
That definitely is a factor, a huge factor.
Yeah. Because I've seen him play, and he was good, and he is very, very good at golf, and. But it'd be interesting. So we'll try and get him on as well. It's good to give him a platform if he deserves it.
Did you find it awkward modelling?
Yes. So one thing, talking on the camera, playing golf, and I vibe with a very good friend, so it's not that hard for us.
Well, it's not. I don't find it when the camera turns on. I don't fight because it's just us being us.
Yeah. And actually, I watched the West Ham video last night. I finished it at work, and I thought, what an easy watch.
Yeah.
Just 2 blokes going around scrambling.
Yeah.
I thought, well, that's one of our better videos.
Yeah.
It was effortless.
And that's hopefully why we're going to keep the series going on that.
But no, it was a bit. So I arrived there. I was in the Cheeky Pup. Those that have played in Portugal know that. Met them there. They turned up, and then I basically got changed into. It was off course straight away. Which to start on off course for me is just it was.
What is off course? What is you
just
went
like t-shirt and like it's more their t-shirt and not playing golf stuff. So we went and got changed, put on like a t-shirt, shorts and whatnot, and they give us a beer and we sat at the table. And I genuinely wanted to ask Reece loads of questions. I didn't know him. We know people in common, so we were talking. And little did I know, behind the scenes, Danny and the crew were just started.
All right, so that part weren't awkward then, because you just didn't know.
And I didn't know him. I said, "Do you know Aaron? And do you know
yeah.
golf? And do you know blah blah blah?" And blah, asking. And then they were recording, and then we would just move to the bar, and then move to another bar whilst holding up a conversation. But because that was the first day we met, and I generally didn't know him, it was fine. And then moved on to on course in the afternoon. So it was just outfit change, if you will, costume drop change, polo and short change, and then just do like a few on course things like we would. So just like tee up a few drives, and they would hit some videos and just take some steals and stuff.
So on a scale one, it wasn't that awkward. It was just a little bit awkward.
No, then there was an on course thing after the Cheeky Pup where we went to that courtyard. Do you know behind?
So with the beach, with the.
No, it was just literally come out of the Cheeky Pup, and then you got like the shops.
I don't know
on
where the Cheeky
inside.
Pub is.
It's right opposite the shop. You know where we're getting the white monsters from every morning.
What?
Cheeky Pup's just the other side of the car park.
In Kinta?
Yes.
Right, okay.
Yeah. And there was one where like we had to just keep walking along. There's obviously people out having lunch, and then it was like, okay, go back, we'll get one from behind. And we're like, you had to like walk along, put your hands in your pockets, like at natural.
It's impossible to act natural.
It's like just walk there, but at natural.
Yeah.
How do I walk?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I'll tell you who does it like was his job. Harry Sellers can look natural at like just when he knows he's getting his picture taken, he still looks natural. If I know I'm getting my picture taken, or if someone goes to me, yeah, just walk down there and do this. I walk weird, like I pull faces that I shouldn't be pulling. Like I find it so unnatural to do like photo shoots and stuff. Unless like when me and you have done branded stuff and like you're filming me and I'm filming you.
Yeah.
I don't care, like because we'll purposely make each other laugh, so we're not doing a weird weird face.
Yeah.
But if if you're with a brand and they're taking pictures or they're doing videos and and you know they're doing the videography, it's very hard to be natural and that probably ties into why people when they come onto the channel to play golf matches against us and film and stuff. It's not natural.
No.
It's our environment now. That's our home. We're comfortable there.
Yeah.
But if I point a camera in your face
Yeah.
and say, talk to me about your shot,
Yeah.
it's not natural.
I said that to Reece. I said, listen, you'll have a laugh and I would love to get you on because, like I say, it's good to have a platform and think if they're nice lads and nice young pros. Look at Aaron. Like now he's like very good friends of us, and I think the platform's good for them. So we wouldn't have any like bumders on. So take that as a compliment, Reece. If you come on, that I said to Ash, you would be a nice.
He did vouch for you, Reece.
But I think I said to him like, listen, you'll go through your pre-shot routine in your head.
I don't even think they would.
Now tell me about it. Now hit the shot. Now be scared that everyone's going to watch, and then different ball game.
And then if you do it a bad shot, turn to the camera and smile, and then go to your ball and hit another one.
Don't rage.
Yeah. Last one on clothing before I'm going to move on to some of the Instagram questions.
Yes. Hate it.
Sunday red.
Absolutely hate it. And I know you do.
Yeah, so I would go as far as saying, and this isn't to cause controversy or cause shock appeal. It is one of the pictures that they've released, not only the way that they've taken the pictures, like it honestly looks like I've given my mum a camera and go take us some pictures of this.
It looks like, okay, so let's just rewind 10 years and there's only like American Golf and then your on-course shops, which are like not presented in the way they are now. Yeah. They're like proper like, you're right, mate, you want a bucket? Like, you go in there and it's like, mate, I would agree. He is so rich.
Yeah. Well, like, there's just no, to me, it just stinks of like smash and grab cash. Like, because there's like, I will say it, Rick Shiels' merch drop.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. I thought for the resources that they have as a organisation, for the team that they have behind them and stuff, I thought that merch drop and that thing was so bad. So bad. Like I haven't seen I'm not talking about quality because I haven't purchased any of the stuff. I haven't done any of that. But like the amount of little thought that went into like Be Phenomenal on a towel or RS on a hat or whatever it was on there, I just thought it was a proper shit drop, right? Really shit. Yep. Tigers is more that like, it's to me, it's like it's been rushed. It's been chucked out. There's a couple designs on the print. The logo's pretty shit. Sunday Red's got a massive space in it. The promo pictures they put out, everything's off on the wonk. There's nothing to say that that's Tiger Woods' brand.
No.
So what I was thinking of this though, did Nike own the trademark of TW that you'd have on the back of his?
Probably. And I don't know what a gap is. What is the gap?
I don't know. I
don't. And it feels like you say it was a bit rushed because it went from
rumoured.
There's been a trademark.
Yeah.
Surely you can't make product
if
it's
fast.
not. Yeah.
No.
So I don't know.
Yeah, it's an absolute shambles of a drop. I mean, I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm like a Tiger frenzy fanatic like some people are.
I appreciate him.
I appreciate 100%. At best in the game, ever to live, no doubt about it in my eyes. Absolute GOAT. I wouldn't say I bought Nike stuff because Tiger wore Nike. I'm not that type. I'm not that way inclined. But this Sunday Red thing, from the thing that I've seen, I think it in the UK, if they didn't sell any of it, I'd be surprised. It's really bad.
But then watch it just sell out, and then I know what'll happen.
I don't think it will.
Just go on eBay, and if it sells out, and then it'll just be worth stupid amounts. But I know what you mean. The product photos are.
Oh, they're shocking.
Oh yeah,
they are shambolic. And for me, I thought like when they announced this, like there's like Tiger Woods, right? You could have capsules, so like seasons, and it could be like for every single win he's had on tour. He's won like 80 times. Oh, that might be wrong. Don't fact check that. He's won so many times on tour.
I think it's 70 or 80 PJ wins.
Yeah,
isn't it?
70 or 80 PJ wins. So if you've got 4 seasons of the year, that covers you for quick maths. For
a lot of years.
24 seasons. 20 years. 20 years.
That's a lot of clothes.
That's a lot of clothes.
Yes.
You could tie it into like when he won at Augusta, when he played and won the PJ National, this and that, and you could have tied all of that into all of the history of Tiger and his game.
Pebble Beach drop,
the Tiger this, or like when he hit the shot out of the bunker around the corner. Like, there's so much you could have done there, but it just seems like deal with Nike, which I'll never understand why. Like, surely that deal with Nike, we said it before, didn't we? Has got to be worth more money wise than what this Sunday Red's going to make him.
Yeah. And just finish your career.
Just finish with Nike. Yeah. You are Nike. You're the Nike of golf.
Yeah.
So not that I probably would have bought any of it anyway. Even if it come out and it was like completely sick, I don't think I'd have necessarily purchased any of it.
No.
But the images that have come out today, as we were filming this podcast, whatever date it is, the Tuesday, the 13th of February, they have been released today, is really bad. And it's getting flack from it. I've seen a lot of people already put stuff up already being like, what is this that you've dropped?
So it's a thumbs down from us.
Big, yeah, for me, it's big. It's a big thumbs down.
Yeah.
Right, Instagram questions. We've probably covered a few of these already, as we've spoken and gone through the Golf Supply podcast episode 00001. But Michael, I'll shoot one at you and then I'll answer one myself. Okay. So we've got Jack Paul Parker 1 has asked, would you ever do a group golf day and bring along okay players to play? So would we do a group golf day and would we bring people along?
So we do already have a golf day. So there's been one at Braintree, two at...
I really hope you tie this into what I hope you're about to tie this into, because like he's just teed something up for us.
Oh, yeah.
You're there, yeah. You're on
it. And we've hosted, I've been maybe 2 at Crondon, our home club.
2, yeah.
There'll more than likely be one around summertime, so maybe you weren't following us early enough. So you've just put yourself in it there.
You missed yourself
there, talk about golf days. July 23, 24th, down at Celtic Manor in Wales. We are doing like a golf supply versus golfing days, Ryder Cup style. Where is it 56 teams or 56 players? 56 teams.
It's 56 teams split like 25, whatever that works out. 28 teams either side.
So just have a look on Golfing Days Instagram or go on their website and you'll see that. Yeah, we will be down there probably for a little day or 2 longer, creating some more content. But that would be come to that.
Alan Bates asked, how many times do you get, this is to me, how many times do you get asked about changing your grip? Brackets, which clearly works, by the way. I would say on Instagram, well, on any platform we put short form content out. Don't really get it on YouTube, because I think the people that watch us on YouTube most of the time have maybe just familiarised themselves with my strong grip or whatever it might be. But every single video that I put out that's me swinging it, I will get especially ones that go quote unquote viral. The ones like we've had a good little stretch on Instagram recently where like range videos have done well and stuff has had 100,000, 200,000, 300, 400,000, whatever views it has. When one of those videos happen and it's me swinging the golf club, I'm in trouble.
I'm in trouble. It's been getting stronger. That right hand's been creeping though.
Yeah,
boy.
I'd say it's got a little bit stronger.
It's creeping.
Yeah, I'd say it's got a little bit stronger. But yeah, Alan, if only really more so on a short form basis rather than long form basis. But yeah, if any video gathers traction of me hitting golf balls, even if I'm striping them down the range, I'll still get absolute pelters in the comments of every single social media golf pro telling me that I can't hit a golf ball with my grip. So kind of is what it is. One for you, Westy. This is from Rickles. Bucket list UK course, then bucket list world in the world course you'd want to play. So your UK course bucket and your world bucket.
Yeah, this question would be better suited to you because I'm very easily pleased. Like I do love the game of golf, and I wouldn't say I was a golf purist. So like for me, nice course that I can appreciate really, really. Do you know what? Let's just say, what's that course up in Liverpool that we want to go back to? Only because I can just. It's not really a bucket list course, but it's just the nicest course.
Westy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I'm not saying that's the best course in the UK, though. By the way. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just going to take that question and say, what's the best course I've been to but haven't played?
Okay. Would you just to prompt you, just to remind you of some of the golf courses that you could play instead in the UK?
Yes, go.
Sunningdale Heath.
Yeah. See, like, obviously, I would love to play all these. I'd love
Wentworth.
Yeah, I'd love to say. Yeah, actually, we went to Wentworth BMW. Yeah. I take it back.
Would it be Wentworth?
Yeah,
UK bucket
was,
list.
That was pure. Yeah,
yeah.
I can't like Sunningdale and all that you would say, but like because I haven't been there and I can't visualize it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to just go off someone like. Well, obviously,
it's true.
One,
yeah.
Yeah,
You've seen Wentworth though.
Yeah, so yeah, it would be Wentworth
over Wallacey.
Yeah,
and bucket list Weld in the world, not Augusta. Now, that's banned.
Yeah, okay. It would just be them ones that we don't know about. Now we had a conversation with Patrick. A very, very. Yeah. Oh God, that man.
Yeah, that man.
Yeah. It would.
If you're watching this, Patrick. You are the man, buddy.
You are him.
Yeah, and just quickly sort out our trip to Soto Grande.
Just like a course in like the Caribbean or something. Like just take me and you to a Caribbean beach place and with JK, and I guarantee you, no one in the world seen it. It would just be like one of them courses.
Yeah. And so you'd pick that over like a well-known
major.
Pebble
I would.
Beach
Yeah,
file.
I would.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Would you or not?
I'd go UK golf course. Mine would be like I'm just desperate to play Sunningdale. I haven't seen it, but I just am.
Yeah.
Desperate to play it. And then probably like world one. Like I'm really, really hooked up at the moment on Josh has played there on that Adair Manor in Ireland.
Okay.
Like, and that's for Weld as well. Oh no, in fact that's bollocks. I just lied.
Yeah.
I've just lied. I want to play there.
You're not going to Ireland.
No, that is bollocks. Yeah, that is lied. Mine would be like maybe similar to you. Like I'd like to play somewhere with like a bit of history or something like that. But like one of my favourite golf courses, I actually was lucky enough to play it, is where they recently played one of the live golf events, Mayakoba in Mexico.
Oh, you said about that a few times.
The one where they've got the big cenote in the middle of the fairway, like with the bunker in it, like that. I just don't see how a golf course could be better conditioned than that. When I played it, when I played the grass out a place, it's in Mexico. It was 35 degrees. Yeah. You're in the middle of like this tropical thing.
That's what I mean. There's so many courses we don't all know about that are better than the ones we know about.
It was golf in heaven.
Yeah.
So, Stephen.Davis, perfect 4-ball and where. We'll leave the and where part because we've covered that. If you could have 4-ball, anyone in the world.
Literally any person.
Don't have to be a golfer. Anyone.
Yeah. I'd bring you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Think about that though.
No, I would.
You've got 3 spots. I get the same thing as well, so you don't have to worry about me missing out.
No, I'm gonna be honest. If they said, because anything I do through golf is because of you, and and I would like to, and I genuinely, if somebody said to me right now, you can take. Honestly, I would. I'd just say, right, cool, done. Me and Ash, and then I'll pick 2 others. So I would say, quick, off the top of my head. You got something on your head?
I'm thinking while you're I've dropped you in it there.
Oh God, who's funny? Who do I like? Imagine playing golf with like Will Ferrell or something. Would that be funny? But then that would be irritating. Would I like to play with like Brooks Koepka? I like Brooks.
You love Brooks.
I would love to play a round of golf with Brooks. But would he now become not my hero because he would be really standoffish with me and I just want to be friends with him? I don't know.
Do you think he would be standoffish with you?
I'd hope he'd be like cool with me.
I think he's a dude.
Yeah,
I
Like,
think
is it all an
I'd
act?
class you as a bit of a dude, and I think dudes get on with dudes usually.
With like Spud and that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you'd be a jock,
Like
wouldn't you,
we'd
if you
all
was-
be like, imagine like me and him, and
We'd be bullying me.
Nike, and we'd be like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, we're a strong grip
Yeah.
prick over there.
Yeah, he's got yeah. So
So
Brooks
you pick the
Koepka.
next one. Let's pick a four ball. So I'll take Brooks.
All
and
right,
then
you
who
take
bring in?
Brooks, and I would.
Let's just say golfer. Just say golfer.
It would be a golfer. I wouldn't pick someone. I'd want to play with the best. I'd probably pick like Rory.
Yeah.
I'd want to play with just like the best golfers.
Yeah, it would be.
If I'm on the golf course, I'd want to be with the best.
You're
the
just
best
so
golfers.
business minded.
No,
You're,
not even.
you're just thinking.
Not even
reals.
business standpoint. I just think like if I'm in that setting, I'd want to see if they said you can go play football with anyone in the world, I'd pick the best footballers in the world to go watch them play or be with them while they're playing.
Good point. Well presented.
Thank you, Michael. What else we got on here? So we've got how do you find such a laid back missus? Shout out Els. She is an absolute legend. She is laid back. Westy.
Yeah, that actually
In
brings
transition.
us. That brings us to our second ad break.
Boys, genuinely excited about this one. A hosted competitive trip with Golfing Day's very own Olivia Kelly to none other than Finland. Golfing in Finland, yeah? Probably didn't expect it. We're going on the trip. Hopefully see some of you there. 4 nights accommodation at Hotel Tirola, probably butchering that. Twin room basis, bed and breakfast. 3 competitive rounds of golf. Welcome drinks on arrival. Space for 28 people to join us and Golfing Days in Finland at £729 per person. Deposit of 150 quid per person. Flights not included in that price. You've got a full itinerary breakdown on their website. If you want to get involved, come over to Finland. The pictures that we've seen look absolutely pure. Then get involved with the Golfing Days team. See you boys out there. Hope you're enjoying the pod as well. Let's get right back to it.
Listen, Els is very,
She's
very...
a saint.
Yeah, she's also the GS's #1 fan. Any single Instagram thing she would have liked.
Yeah, she's a saint.
She's there. She probably will at some point when we can. She'll be like the backbone admin in our life away.
Yeah, I reckon so.
Yeah, and me just in transition. Yeah,
You're in transition to the golf swing. You're kind of at the top of your backswing at the minute.
Yeah.
Just really
I'm
trying to get
making
them
bold
hips through.
moves. So I'm getting there.
You're making steps in the right direction. What else we got on here? We've answered a lot of these. Westy versus Decker rematch on the cards. Need Westy to put things right.
Listen, I really, really haven't hit a golf ball this year. Now I know it's only halfway through February, but we make golf content, so it's terrible, really.
Not
and
ideal, yeah.
Since Westerham, that was the first ball hit today in a lesson, no warm up, just straight into the lesson. So that just shows. Listen, if I play 70% of my golfing ability that my body allows me to do, I smash Deckers 9 out of 10 times. Facts. So when we go again, I'll get back in the groove, and the golf season starting, I will probably be playing a lot more. The sun will be out, and yeah, he done.
Just to play devil's advocate, not saying that when I agree with you that you playing your best golf and Decker's playing his best golf, you would beat him. I agree with that. That's why I picked you to win that match. I always knew it was going to be close because you weren't playing a lot of golf coming into that, and you wasn't either. Golf that you hadn't played great when we played.
And I actually didn't sleep that night.
You didn't. Yeah, you didn't. You come straight from night shift. That didn't play into my consideration of that. But I did pick you to win. I didn't think it would be a whitewash. When you were saying minimum 4 and 3, I didn't think it was going to be 4 and 3 in that video at all. I thought it was going to go down the wire. I still thought you would nick it. But what I do want to say is Deckers can also play a lot better than that. When I played my match against him over at Perford Lakes, I think he was 1 over through 7.
Yeah, like listen, Deckers can play.
He can play, yeah.
We both he saved me actually that video. Yeah, and Deckers is just a really, really. They all are, but Deckers is actually cool. He's a nice lad. He drove all the way down to play with us and
legend.
Yeah, he's
legend. All of the boys are legend. Yeah. But yeah, so that rematch will be coming in the summer. Yep. Hopefully, maybe I'll speak to Thorndon because we've got a good relationship with Thorndon, and they can play it back at Thorndon in the summer because it will be peak condition. Yep. We can run it back on the same golf course. So there's no because it's not your home course, it's not his home course. No. Maybe change the venue. I don't know.
I'll go versus Deckers again, and I would like to just do Ash versus all 4. That's something to they're the 2 I'd like. I don't really want to play against anyone else apart from Deckers right now because of that. And I feel like he's the best.
Who is the second best? Pads.
It's probably Ronan. I think.
Rones.
Yeah. Oh, Ronan and Pads are close.
Right. Okay.
Or yeah.
But are they still a lot worse than Deckers? I don't think
Ronan's massively behind. No.
Fair enough. Yeah. So upcoming content. We're going to try and, like I said, the reason for these podcasts, this is more of like an introduction to not an introduction, an explanation to what the Golf Supply is, how it come about, who we are, what we do. But we're also going to talk about in these episodes of the podcast. So just to remind you guys, if you've skipped through parts of the podcast and you missed me saying this, we're going to try, in the first instance, to aim for 2 podcasts a month.
Which is a good start up.
It's a good starting block.
Just us talking.
Yeah, one will be these type of podcasts, but it's going to be more surrounded by some stuff that's going on in the golf space at the time of us filming it, but more so like what we've got coming up, what we're doing, what content we've done, maybe funny things that's happened to us throughout that week, whatever it might be. Yep. But the next big thing for us is back to El Portugal.
Very, very excited because it is very, very warm over there at the minute. I'm very excited to
Have you checked the forecast?
Oh, don't do it.
No.
Oh.
No. So the Pro-Am that you're out there for, the first one.
Yes.
24 degrees, pure sunshine. I'm staying out there for the second Golfing Days Pro-Am. Not rain, but it drops down to about 17, 18 and maybe a little bit overcast. But the week that you're out there, boyo, get your legs out, get your arms out, get your Sunday red on, because it's going to be hot.
Yeah, lovely out there. Yeah. And that just pretty much kickstarts our and Golfing Days' season, and we get going as a partnership, and we go again.
Yeah, so we've got 2 Pro-Ams. I'm staying out there for both of them. So the first one is the Dom Pedro group, the Villamora courses. So we are doing, quote me if I'm wrong, Westy, we're doing Umbria twice.
Correct.
We're doing Laguna.
Correct.
And we finish at the old course.
Yes, and prior to that Pro-Am, we're doing 18 holes at Laranjal. Heaven on earth.
Yeah, unofficial best course in Portugal.
Yes, and then Quinta South on the last day for I Fly.
Yeah.
And then you stay and do?
I then stay and do, I don't know in what order, but I do Quinta South again.
Yep.
I do Laranjal.
Yep.
I do Old Course.
Okay.
And I can't remember what the I think they're the 3 in the Pro-Am, and then the practice round, because it's 4-day now, but they're doing 1-day practice round.
Yeah.
I can't remember where the practice round is, but yeah, I'm staying out to do them as well. So hopefully, fingers crossed, 9 days I'll be out there. Going to aim to get like 10, 11, 12 videos done for the time that we're out there. Going to get some Pro-Am competitive action in the second Pro-Am that I'm playing in. I'm actually playing with a professional, so we're going to get him on the channel. Hopefully see some good golf, me and him, try and tear it up around some of them Quinta courses. We're going to film a couple of the days of the Pro-Am in our group.
Yep.
The big news is that George Scott is coming with us to this Pro-Am. So all of those who ask, where's George gone? Where has he been? George is a flaky little shit.
He's going to be here.
Yeah. George is an absolute flakesman. He can't stick to one thing. He has the attention span of a goldfish, but now he is really starting. I've been down to the range with him a couple of times. Mm-hmm. He's got the bug back.
Yeah,
He won't keep it. Don't get me wrong. Listen, I'm not saying that George's going to be on the channel every week because he's not, but he's got the golfing little nudge back, and he's going to be out in Portugal with us. So he's going to be in some videos. I reckon we're going to get a couple of Westy and George versus me scrambles. Yep. We're going to get maybe some individual 18-hole rounds filmed at the golf courses. We're definitely going to get some Pro-Am content like we did with Ron Dog. That style of video out there. But yeah, we're going to aim for around about 10 to 12 videos in the 9 days that we're out there. So
a pod with the Georgeman.
And make sure if you're listening to this if they're watching this on Spotify, obviously these videos are being posted at the moment until this reaches like dizzy heights where we're getting millions of listeners a week. It's going to go on the main Golf Supply page, YouTube channel.
Yep.
So what happens on Spot? It's going to be posted to Spotify.
Yep.
Do people subscribe on Spotify?
I think. Well, do you subscribe to Joe Rogan? You like a Joe Rogan?
I don't have a Spotify account, but I just have it on my phone, and I don't know what is it doing. Let me check.
I don't know. I think you just like the pod, and then it shows up, or maybe like it stays in your recently played, like your top 8 playlists that you're recently played. So just keep us in your top 8, and you'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it just comes up on the home screen.
It'll just be there, or just follow us on Instagram, and then you'll see when we post.
Yeah. What we'd like you to do is, if you've listened the whole way through this podcast, then thank you for listening to the Golf Supply podcast episode 0001. Just comment down below. Let us know what you think of it. Let us know if you've got any questions. Let us know if there's anything you'd like to change. I mean, we are down at UK Golf Academy, so shout out to those guys for having us down. We're using the fitting bay. We've set up a little bit of a makeshift set here. We will have probably further down the line, don't know when, not going to put a time date on it, a bit more of a hub, a home for the podcast. We're working on that, but let us know if there's anything that you'd change in the podcast, or anything if the audio is quite clear. If there's anything you'd like us to discuss in the next podcast, get down in the comments and let us know. I just would like, with this being the first episode, we would like a bit of constructive feedback. If you've got anything positive to say, great. If you've got anything negative to say, then great. Just feedback in general would be nice.
Yes, I would agree. And we take it all on board, to be fair. We share everything, we have a look, and we're always striving for perfection.
We are.
If there is such a thing.
Yeah.
And then, like you say, if you are a very good, solid fan of ours, probably just get yourself out to a Pro-Am, or definitely come to Celtic Manor in July, and then just say...
If we can get as many of you to Pro-Am, like go on the Golfing Days website if you want to go overseas, check all those guys out. There is so many events on there for you to get involved in, you and the boys. But definitely for those who support the channel, Celtic Manor, end of July is going to be an absolute belter. 2-day tournament golf. Come and join Team Golf Supply versus Team Golfing Days. Plenty of beers after, plenty of food after. We've got 2 days there, one on the 2010 and whatever the other name of the golf course is. We're doing 2 days there.
Roman or something, can it?
Yes, Roman Road or something. That's it, yeah. Definitely get involved in that. It's on the Golfing Days website under their events section. Scroll down to July, you'll see it. GD versus GS, Golfing Days, Ryder Cup event thing. But we'd love to see as many of you down there as we possibly can. And then send us a DM once you've booked. And we can get beery. We can have a beer. Yeah. In a more relaxed environment. Westy, I'm going to let you sign off the first Golf Supply Podcast 0001. Yeah, I've enjoyed it, man. Yeah, the thing is with me and Ash, obviously, you think that we see through summer we see each other every single day. At the minute, we don't. So like, this is actually almost nice for us to catch up. Yeah, it is nice. And there's a lot going on, and thank you very, very much those that do watch and support. It is massively. I know everyone says it's cliche. It's massively appreciated, though. Thank you if you did make it all the way to the end, even to this part. And then obviously, yes, like Ash said, it will be uploaded on YouTube, be uploaded on Spotify. Without further ado, is it? Do you say this every time, man? Just pick a new phrase to say. Respect them, though. Yeah, the only thing I'm going to say on these is the tiny. Yeah. I thought I'd ordered like 60 centimetre pillows, big pillows. It came through and they're like... But if they're sofa, would we look a little bit like... Yeah, maybe. No, I ordered 3. I'm glad I ordered 3 because we've got a nice little prop there. Yeah, I quite like this size. Yeah, it's not bad. Does anyone want one? No, I don't know. They're not for sale, these ones. They're not going out. Oh, shit. Either. Ain't getting one. Yeah, West. Enjoyed that, mate. Thank you very much. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow if you can follow on Spotify. Yeah. And if you listen to podcasts on any other platform, there's so many of them, but I've just chose YouTube and Spotify because I don't listen to podcasts on anything else. No. But if we're missing it and you want us to upload it somewhere else, let us know. Golf Supply Pod, episode 0001. Powered by the Golfing Days Maestro Boys. Done. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.